my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about more book and manga adaptations that I want to see because I have and want more now. And these were all, of course, chosen under the assumption that what we would get would be good, which I know is definitely not always the case, but it's what we're going to go with today. Starting with All My Rage by Saba Tahir. And this follows our main characters who are best friends so close that they consider each other family, until a fight destroys their bond with one another and one of our main characters scrambles around his family's motel. His mother's health fails and his father loses himself to alcoholism, while our other main character is working at her uncle's liquor store and hiding her plans to go to college and get away from him forever. When the attempts to save the motel spiral out of control, they are going to have to ask themselves what their friendship is really worth, what it's going to take to defeat their monsters, both the past ones and the present. This is one of my favorite books I've read so far this year. I think it has incredible coming-of-age themes, and I feel like it would be really impactful and translate really well to a live-action adaptation. I would also just love to see these characters come to life and also the relationship. Nothing about the setting and the atmosphere that this book created really worked for me as well, especially combined with the coming-of-age theme, so I would love to see that. And it's a story filled with a lot of pain and complexity, but also hope as well, and I loved every single second of it. And then we have If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. This follows 4 young women living in Seoul, Korea, who are trying to make their way in the world as defined by impossible beauty standards, after-hours room salons, social hierarchies, and fandom surrounding K-pop. This was one of my favorite books I read towards the end of 2025, and I still think about it all of the time. Again, I would really love to see the characters come to life in this one. I felt really attached to them and invested in them and their lives. The book was also extremely slice of life to the point where it felt weird to not be following the characters anymore after the book was over. So I do think that part of me wanting this adaptation is just me wanting to see them again, and the adaptation would give me that in a new and different way. And then we have Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. This follows Shizuka Satomi, who in order to escape damnation must convince 7 violin prodigies to trade their souls for success. She has convinced 6 people so far and is searching for her final candidate when she meets a young transgender runaway whose talent catches her ear. And she also meets a retired starship captain turned donut shop owner, and all 3 of their lives become entangled in a story of curses, identity, hope, and family. Now at this moment in time, this is my favorite book of 2026 and possibly just my favorite book of all time. There's just so much about this book and the characters and the setting that feels really iconic, and there's a lot of really strong imagery that I would love to see in an adaptation. This book also has really incredible and emotional violin playing scenes, and I would just like to hear them because those are scenes that I felt really attached to. They made me cry. They left a really big emotional impact on me. And I do think that my expectations for an adaptation of this story would be extremely high, which could obviously set me up for like crushing disappointment. But I do think that the attempt and the chances that we would get something incredible or even just solid out of it would be worth it. And then we have Opposites Attract by Hono Natsuna. This follows our 2 main characters who are opposites from their dogs, as Shiharu is very bold and petite while her Rottweiler is more of a scaredy cat. And Kiyotaka is sturdy yet shy while his Pomeranian is very outgoing. These 2 meet on a walk with their dogs one day, and after more encounters, their feelings for each other start to change. This is one of the most relaxing and lighthearted series that I have ever read. It brought me such peace. I would love to feel that with an anime adaptation because a lot of my favorite anime also give me that feeling. I of course also just want to see the dogs animated. Like, that is the main and most important thing here because they're incredible and adorable, which for a series like this they have to be, and they definitely are. I also really like the characters and the relationships a lot too, and I think that it has a lot of heart. And finally we have Zyla and Kai by Christina Forrest. This follows Zyla and Kai who run away together during a school trip, which surprises everyone because they've been broken up for months. And this is a breakup that actually didn't surprise anyone, as Kai is a hopeless romantic and Zyla is more cynical when it comes to love. And we alternate between the past and the present as they become friends, fall in love, and eventually break up. So this is one that I really like the structure of. We spend most of the story in the past, but we also get a handful of chapters from the present timeline. I feel like the mystery of the present timeline kept me excited to keep reading and just get to the chapters where everything was going to come together and get revealed. And I feel like that would really lend itself well to the adaptation. I also feel like this relationship itself had some really great scenes. By the end of this book, I wasn't super in love with the romance. I'm actually not sure that you're even supposed to feel that way by the end of the book. It did feel very right person, wrong time to me, and I feel like that would be interesting to watch. It gets messy, there's a lot of YA drama, which I also feel like would lend itself well to an adaptation. The story itself also dives into the characters' individual storylines and just where they're at and their past and how it's impacting them. I would also just love to see the amusement park scenes. I have a major weakness for those, especially in the summer, which it currently is while I'm filming this, so yeah, I really want that. Okay, so that is everything that I have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here. if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye!